and I'll let everyone introduce themselves. I'll just take like 30 seconds to a minute, maybe some educational, professional, geographic background. My name is Valmiki Naik. I'm a civil engineer, born, raised in Panjim, and I did my engineering though in Pune, University of Pune, and then I also did a master's in the US, where I also worked for a few years. I came back to Goa in 2009 and 10, and I've been working in my father's construction company since then. So other than that, I've been drawn towards having lived in a Western country. I've been drawn towards bringing some of the nicer things about civic sense or public participation or even corruption, anti-corruption in governance and politics to India and of course to Goa. So I participated in the India Against Corruption movement in 2011 for the next 2 years, and then eventually kind of joined politics through the Aam Aadmi Party. So that's my story so far. I have with me Mr. Siddesh Bhagat, who's a youth leader. So I'll request him to introduce himself as well.
माझे नाव सिद्धेश भगत. हांव मूळ काणकोणचो पूण रावता नवेली. हांवें म्हाजें ग्रॅज्युएशन केलां पूण डिफरंट एक्टिविस्ट मुवमेंटान आसा, जशें की फायटींग फॉर वुमन्स अगेन्स्ट रेप केसीस एंड ऑल. म्हाका जाल्यार दिसता सद्या तरी हांव जॉब घेवना, कित्याक तरी म्हाका एक्टिविजमान पार्टिसिपेट चड करपाक गरज आसा. कित्याक तरी एक युथाक खंय तरी मोटिवेशनाची गरज आसा. ती दुसरो कोणी करतलो म्हूण रावपा पयलीं हांवें चालू केल्लें आनी तांकां एक एग्जाम्पल सेट केल्लें हें म्हाका पयलीं बरें दिसपा जाय. सो कशें कितें प्रॉब्लेम्स आसा ती स्टडी करपाचें काम हांव सद्या करता, मुवींग अक्रॉस ऑल ओवर द कंट्री. जशें की दिल्ली, थंय वचून तेंचे पॉलिटिकल लायफ, सोशल लायफ स्टडी करप. कलकत्ता, फ्रॉम डिफरंट स्टेट्साचें पॉलिटिकल लायफ कितें आसता, तेंचें स्ट्रगल कितें, युथाचो स्ट्रगल कितें तें स्टडी करप. प्रॉब्लेम्स रिलेटेड टू यूथ तेंचे बद्दल स्टडी करप हो म्हजो मेन हेतू.
म्हजें नांव कपिल किशोर कोरगांवकर. हांव शिवोलचो एक्चुली पयलीं आनी आतां हांव बस्तोडे रावता. सो हांवें MSc कॅमिस्ट्रीन केलां, MBA ऑपरेशन्सान केलां आनी आय एम अ फार्मासिस्ट. सांगपाचें म्हटल्यार हांवें पयलीं सोशल एक्टिविटीजान आयलो थ्रू म्हाजो एक आमी ल्हान NGO स्टार्ट केल्लो, ताचें नांव आसा गोवन्स फॉर एड्युकेशन. ताका 26 तारीख वर्स जातलें, पूण एक वर्सान आमी खुबश्यो एक्टिविटीज केल्यो. गांवान गेले, भुरग्यांचे डिफिकल्टीज सॉल्व करपाक ट्राय केल्यो. लास्ट इयर आमी 50 भुरग्यांक सारके निडी भुरगे सारके आयडेंटिफाय करता आमी आनी तांकां मदत करपाक ट्राय केलें. पूण जेन्ना आमी गांवान वताले तेन्ना आमकां लोकांच्यो गोंयकाराच्यो प्रॅक्टिकल डिफिकल्टीज कितें आशिल्ल्यो त्यो कळपाक लागल्यो. एट द सेम टायम म्हणजे आमचो इव्हेंट चालू आसताले तेन्ना हांव प्रज्वल साकरदांडे सराक मेळ्ळो. तेन्ना ताणें म्हाका सांगलें की कपिल तूं आमचे गोवास मुवमेंट फॉर स्पेशल स्टेटस मुवमेंटाक जॉयन. सो अशें जालें की आमी खुबशे यूथ आशिल्ले, सो ताका लागून आमी गोवास मुवमेंट फॉर स्पेशल स्टेटस यूथ विंग आतां फॉर्म केला. पेरंट विंग आशिल्लोच आनी ह्या यूथ विंगांतल्यान आमी गोंयकारांच्यो डिफिकल्टीज, गोंयच्या शेतकारांच्यो डिफिकल्टीज, जे नॉर्मल गांवान लोक रावता एज वेल एज सिटीजान जे लोक रावता तांचे डिफिकल्टीज सॉल्व करपाक लागून आमकां स्पेशल स्टेटस व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. ताका लागून आमी हो मुवमेंट आतां स्टार्ट केल्लो आसा आनी आमी प्रत्येक गांवान वता.
Good evening. My name is Anish Kara. Born and raised in Goa. Been working in the music industry for about 15 years now. Quite similar to Valmiki, for those who don't know his nickname. I've been living abroad for the last 5 years, but decided to come back home and try and set up base here. I've been working in the music industry for 15 years in various aspects. I've been an international DJ, I own a record label, and I'm a music producer, so I tend to interact a lot with people my age or younger, thankfully.
Hi, I'm Antonio Pacheco, and I started off by getting through my education with studying software, getting through my bachelor's and getting to post-graduation. But I started off Studio 7. Studio 7 is a media company. We're in photography, video productions and films, and that's pretty much what I do for now.
Yep.
Good evening, I'm Shine Gomes and I work with the Goa Forgiving Trust. Basically, Goa Forgiving has given me an opportunity to work for the community. Like we do work for saving the waterways of Goa. We've done the restoration of the Mermaid Garden, and basically it's something that every youth should come forward and do, serve your community. So that's basically what we work with.
So the way we plan to have this session is maybe I think this next round will come up with some very personal stories about issues we faced as youth. If we faced any issues at all, maybe not everybody faces the same issues, and sort of but keeping it very personal, so that we come from various very different backgrounds. So I think that will evolve, will throw up a lot of issues that youth face in general, and from that we are planning to maybe cull out a few common issues and then have a discussion on those common issues and maybe throw up some suggestions and solutions to those. So does that sound like a good way to move forward? If anybody has any suggestions on how to move this forward, we're open to that as well. Did you have any suggestions, Bavinda? No? Okay. Alright, so we'll start with Siddesh. Maybe we can, first of all, maybe we can define what is youth. I think for purpose of this session, we'll keep it 40 and below because I myself am 39. So so but technically, I think generally 35 is considered the age of youth, and I think in the preamble also we that was the number that came up. So, but I guess from school, growing up, where you grew up, during your studies, trying to find employment, if any, or starting your own business, or the reason for your getting into social issues. So all that, if you can speak like maybe for a couple of minutes and let us know sort of like what issues that you came up with that you feel other people with that similar background would be facing.
पयलीं म्हणल्यार म्हाका दिसता यूथ हो पावर हावस. खंयचे कंट्रीचो जावं स्टेटीचो जावं इट इज नोन टू बी द पावर हावस. कित्याक मोर देन 50% तरी एज लिमीट युथान पडटा. खंयचे कंट्रीचे समज डेव्हलपमेंट इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन यूथ. हांव सोशल फिल्डान जॉयन जावपाक खुबशीं कारणां आसा. एक ग्रॅज्युएशन करता भुरगो, पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएशन करता पूण ताका जॉब मेळना. कित्याक जॉब मेळना? शिकपाक बरो ना, काय तेजे फाटल्यान गॉडफादर ना, काय तो खंयचे पॉलिटिकल पार्टीक बिलोंग जायना, काय तेजे कडेन पयशे ना. जशें की म्हाका एकदां खंयचे तरी कॉलेजीन गेलें ना, ह्याच टॉपिकान म्हाका एकट्यान आडायलो आनी विचारलें बाबा तूं अशें कित्याक उलयता. हांवें म्हणलें म्हाका जाल्यार सद्याचें सिट्युएशन पळोवन दिसता भुरग्यांक तर 10 वर्सांचे त्यान कामां लागपाचें. कित्याक 20 वर्सां लागता म्हणल्यार तुका 5 लाख तरी जाय खंयचे तरी गव्हर्मेंट जॉबाक. डायरेक्ट विचारतात खंय गेलेले. करप्शन फ्री गोंय करपाक हो आमचो रिक्वेस्ट आसपा जायना सरकाराक ह्या एडमिनिस्ट्रेशनाक. इट शूड बी आवर डिमांड. कालचो पयरचो कोणी येता डॉमिसायल सर्टिफिकेट घेता तो गोंयकार जावन वता. अरे गोंयकार वतले तरी खंय? जेन्ना सगळ्यांकी व्हडलें दूख हांव तरी चाळवलो केन्ना जेन्ना एक नॉन गोवन पेपराचेर नॉन गोवनाक सांगता एक खंयचे तरी सर्टिफिकेट तूं दिवपा वता आनी तेजेर तुका एक नॉन गोवनाची सायन घेवपा पडटा आनी तो तुका सांगता 2 दिसा या 3 दिसाचे नंतर यो आपूण एवेलेबल ना. अरे म्हाका एक सांग, म्हाका गोंयकार प्रूव करपाक जेन्ना नॉन गोवनाची सायन घेवपा पडटा तेज्याकी व्हडलें दूख खंयचें आसतलें? भुरगीं आवय बापूय भुरग्यांक शिकयता, लाड पाड करून शिकयता, त्रास घेवन शिकयतात, पूण एट लास्ट ताका जॉब मेळना. तो कितलोय हुशार आसूं पूण तेजे कडेन समज पयशे दिवपा जाय ताका जॉब अलाव करना. उठले की फाटली कितें अशी गजाली म्हणपा लागले पॉलिटिक्स. पॉलिटिशियन येता, इलेक्शन लागीं पावले 2-3 युथाक कितें घालपाचें आसा तें घालतात, या पयशे दितात, या सोरो बी वयतात आनी मागीर ते प्रचार करपा लागतात. जशें की इलेक्शन जालें तो ताका वळखोपाक विसरता. रिजर्वेशनाचे बद्दल उलयतना रिजर्वेशन नाका म्हणिना, रिजर्वेशन जाय. एज अ यूथ जाल्यार हांव सांगता रिजर्वेशन जाय, पूण रिजर्वेशन कित्याचे बद्दल तें इम्पॉर्टंट. रिजर्वेशन कास्ट रिलीजन तेजेर आसपा येना. रिजर्वेशन आसपाक जाय जाल्यार फायनान्शियल स्टेटसाचेर आसपाक जाय. गरीब आनी पयशेकारां मदीं. म्हाका एक सांग, समज एक लोअर कास्टाचो समज तो पयशेकार आसा, ही वूड अफोर्ड टू पे द फीज, हाय फीज. पूण समज हाय कास्टाचो पूण तेजे कडेन पयशे ना, तेणी कितें करपाचें? तो खंय तरी फसता. जाल्यार ह्या सिट्युएशनान म्हाका जाल्यार दिसता युथान एजंट म्हणून काम करपाचो, एजंट ऑफ चेंज, एजंट ऑफ होप. आतां तरी सद्या गरज आसा की युथान पॉलिटिक्सान एंटर करपाचो. राजकारण हे जनरेशन, आतां पळोवपाक गेल्यार जनरेशन डिफरन्स खूब आसा. एक आमदार आसता 60 वर्सांचो आनी तो चलयता राज्य, ज्या राज्यान ना म्हणल्यार 25 वर्सांची भुरगीं आसता तो ते चलयता. तेजी मेंटॅलिटी आनी 25 वर्सांच्या भुरग्याची मेंटॅलिटी कशी कंपेर जातली? म्हाका जाय डिफरंट लायफस्टायल, तो चिंततलो आपल्या डिफरंट लायफस्टायल. जशें की अमकी एज जाली तो आपल्या फॅमिलीचे बद्दल चिंततलो, आपल्या बायल भुरग्यांचे बद्दल चिंततलो, बँक बॅलन्स करपाचें चिंततलो. पूण ते 25 वर्सांचो भुरगो तें चिंतपाना. तो तें चिंततलो बाबा आपूण आपलें नांव कशें कमयतलो, आपूण आपलो स्टेट कशी मुखार व्हरतलो, आपली याद कशी दवरतली लोक. तें चड इम्पॉर्टंट आसता त्या भुरग्याक तरी. हें चालू जातलें जाल्यार लोकल इन्स्टिट्युशनाच्या आनी डिफरंट आतां जशें की कॉम्पिटिशन्स जाता, जशें की आय एप्रिशिएट आमचे युवा महोत्सव आनी गोवा फॉरगिवींग जे आमचे करता डिफरंट मुवमेंट्स. आय एप्रिशिएट देम फॉर डुईंग, फॉर टेकिंग अप दॅट इनिशिएटीव आनी हें. सो ज्या प्रमाणान जावपाक जाय ती गोश्टी जायना म्हणून युथाक रस्त्यार येवपाक पडटलें. आनी येवपाक समज पडलें जाल्यार आमी फाटीं सरपाना. ही आमी खोरपणान सरकाराक सांगपाक सोदता. तो खंयचोय जावं सरकार, तो फाल्यां आयज समज काँग्रेसीचो आसा या फाल्यां बीजेपीचो आसा, सरकार कितें ते वयल्यान आमचे सर्वंट कामाक आसा ते 5 वर्सां. समज काम आवडना काडा आनी उडयात तांकां भायर. कोण हांगा रावपाक येवना. समज एक भुरग्याक जॉब मेळना जाल्यार तेणी शिकप कित्याक? हो सगळ्यांकी व्हडलो प्रश्न आसा. अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट म्हळ्यार तुमी म्हणटली अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट समज शिकलो आनी अनएम्प्लॉयमेंटाची सुद्दां रेट आसता, कशी काडप कितें आसता. समज इफ 200 भुरगीं आसा, 200 भुरग्याची 150 अपॉन ते आसा पळय 200, तेन्ना तुका हेजे बद्दल रेशो मेळटा. ते म्हणटा थोडे ना रेशो अशें आसता तशें आसता. तो पार्ट टायम स्टडी करूं या फूल टायम स्टडी करूं, पूण जॉब सेक्युरिटी तरी आसपाक जाय. IT सेल तुमी गोंयांत हाडटा, कितें एश्युरिटी दिता की तुमी फक्त गोंयकाराकूच जॉब दितले म्हणून, भायल्यांक दिवपाना म्हणून. सो खुबशी गोश्टी अशी आसा की आमी स्ट्रेस करपाक जाय. आनी म्हाका दिसता आमी राजकारणांत भितर सरपाक जाय सगळ्या युथांनी. पूण राजकारण 2 भशेन आसता, बरें आनी वायट. बरें राजकारणांत सरपाची गरज आसा. थँक्यू.
वाल्मिकीन म्हणिल्लें की डेफिनेशन ऑफ युथाचें डेफिनेशन हांव एक्झॅक्ट दिवंक शकना. पूण म्हाका अशें दिसता की जो मनीस जो यूथ दुसऱ्या युथाचे डिफिकल्टीज सॉल्व करपाक शकता पळय, तो खरो यूथ आसता. सो आतां म्हाका मेन म्हणजे गोंयच्या आमी युथाचे बद्दल गोंयच्या युथाचे डिफिकल्टीज कितें आहा तें म्हाका सांगपाचें आहा. पयली गजाल म्हळ्यार गोंयांत आमचे खूब इन्स्टिट्यूट आसा, BSc खूब आसा, BCom खूब आसा. पूण सांगपाक म्हळ्यार इंडस्ट्रियल इस्टेट्स आसा, गव्हर्मेंट जॉब काय सगळ्यांक मेळपाक शकना. सो आतां अशी परिस्थिती आयला की गव्हर्मेंट जॉब तुमकां मेळपाक जाय जाल्यार तुमकां खंयच्या पार्टीचो यूथ विंगान बीन वचचें पडटलें आनी मागीर तांच्या पांयां पडचें पडटलें आनी मागीर तुमकां गव्हर्मेंट जॉब मेळटलो. मागीर आतां उरलें तें प्रायवेट सेक्टर. सपोज इंडस्ट्रियल इस्टेट्सान गेले जाल्यार आमचे यूथ कितले थंय म्हणजे गोंयचे यूथ कितले आसा तें आमकां खबर ना. आमी RTI फायल केल्लो गव्हर्मेंटा कडेन, कित्याक आमचे आतां नाल्ल जे पाडेकर कमी जावपाक पावला. पाडेकर गोंयांत आतां मेळना, आमचे नाल्ल काडपाक कोण मेळना. सो ताका लागून हांवें पाडेकर ऑनलायन ही तो इंजिनियर सॉफ्टवेअर इंजिनियर जॉब सोडून ताणें पाडेकर ऑनलायन स्टार्ट केली. सो ताका सांगलें की वेर्णा इंडस्ट्रियल इस्टेटाक खंयच्या इंडस्ट्रियल इस्टेटान प्लॉट मेळपाक जाय जाल्यार तुका भायरसून खंयसून तरी पयशे दिवचे पडटले. दिस इज अ फॅक्ट. ताणें म्हाका सारकें सांगलां. सो ह्यो परिस्थिती आमच्या गोंयच्या युथाच्यो आसा म्हणून आमकां भायर वचचें पडटा. आतां हांव म्हणटा की पोर्तुगालाक वचपाक लोक म्हणटा हे हो एंटी नॅशनल म्हणटा पोर्तुगालाक गेलो. कित्याक वयचो ना? पोर्टच तांचें चलना जाल्यार भायर वयचेंच पडटलें तांकां. हांव अशें म्हणिना की ते पोर्तुगल पासपोर्ट घेता भितर रायट आसा अशें म्हणिना. पूण हे सरकारानूच आमचें केल्लें आसा. लँड इश्यूज आतां आमी हांगा तुया गेल्ले, सो सगळ्यांक खबर आसतलें अमरनाथ नायकाचो इशू. सो सरकारान कितें केल्लें, ताचे 2 भुरगे आसा, तांचें एज्युकेशन जावपाचें आसा म्हणून हांव तुमकां सांगता. म्हणजे तांचे ते यूथ आसा तांचे बद्दल उलोवपाक जाय म्हाका 2 मिनटां. सो अमरनाथ नायकाचे इलेक्ट्रॉनीक सिटी खातीर ताजी 442 ट्रीज कट केली. ही वॉज टोटली डिपेंडंट ऑन दोज ट्रीज. पणस विकतालो, इवन ताजो चलो आशिल्लो ताका स्टेट लेवल नॅशनल लेवल कॉम्पिटिशनाक वचपा जाल्ले कबड्डीक ताजे कडेन पयशे नाशिल्ले ताणी पणस विकून पयशे एकठांय केले आनी तो गेल्लो. सो सरकार आनी वयल्यान ताका कितें सांगले ताका ताजी एनओसी टॅनंट तो आनी ताजी एनओसी घेयन आसतना ताजी झाडां कापली आनी ताजें घर आसा थंय मागीर फोटोज बी सगळ्या एरल्डान बी सगळी कडेन आयला ते. सो ताका जो विचारपाक गेलो तेन्ना ताका जेलीन घातलो आनी ताका म्हटलें की ताजें घरूच थंय ना म्हणून. सो असली परिस्थिती जाल्ली आसा. थंय इलेक्ट्रॉनीक सिटी बांदता गांवांत. सिटी म्हणटा आनी गांवांत इलेक्ट्रॉनीक सिटी हाडपाक चिंतता आनी जी कंपनी थंय येवपाची आसा अकॉर्डिंग टू माय इन्फॉर्मेशन जे कंपनी येवपाचे आसा जे स्टाफ जाय तसली स्किल्स गोंयांत ना. युथा कडेन तसली स्किल्स ना. एक सुद्दां इन्स्टिट्यूट तशें ना. सो हे जे इंडस्ट्रीज हाडटा ते कोणा खातीर हाडटा. मोपा आतां एग्जाम्पल मोपाक सांगता ते की गोंयच्या 4000 भुरग्यांक बीन युथांक जॉब मेळटले म्हणटा. पूण एअरपोर्टार तर तुका काम एअर ट्रॅफिकींग बीन आसता तसले कोर्स गोंयांत एक सुद्दां ना. पयलीं मोपा घालतले आनी मागीर तुमी इन्स्टिट्यूट स्टार्ट करतले. हे कित्याक भुरग्यांक फटोवपाक जाय. सो हे सगळे प्रॅक्टिकल आमच्या गोंयांत युथाचे इश्यूज आसा जे आमी गांवांत वता स्पेशल स्टेटसाक लागून गांवांत वता तेन्ना आमकां कळटा. सो हाजेर आतां सद्या आमकां दिसता की एज अ गोंयकार आमी म्हणिना की भायले लोक गोंयांत येवंक अशें आमी म्हणिना. पूण आमची गोंयची डेन्सिटी आसा पळय पॉप्युलेशन डेन्सिटी ती महाराष्ट्र आनी कर्नाटका परस चड जाला. कर्नाटकाची आसा 390 महाराष्ट्राची आसा 395 पर स्क्वेअर किलोमिटर आनी गोंयची आसा महाराष्ट्राची आसा 365 आनी गोंयची आसा 394. सो ऑलरेडी आमचें पॉप्युलेशन आमी लिमिटा भायर गेल्ले आसा. आनी सपोज अशेंच तर भायले लोक येवपाक लागले जाल्यार आमच्या गोंयच्या युथांक कसो जॉब मेळटलो. आतां एक उत्तर प्रदेशांतून एक रेल्वे येता विकान एकदां 700 यूथ येता. यूथ म्हणना हांव तुका काम लोक येता थंयसून भितरले 100 लोक परत वता 600 हांगाच रावता. 600 लोक येवपाक लागले ना आमचे गोंयच्या युथांक कसो जॉब मेळटले. सो हे खुबश्यो प्रॅक्टिकल डिफिकल्टीज आसा ज्यो सरकारान आमी एक्सपेक्ट करता की सरकारान सॉल्व करची. हाका लागून एक्चुअली आमचो एक कोण तरी यूथ रिप्रेझेंटेटीव विधानसभेन अशें वाल्मिकीक सुद्दां म्हणटालो कोणूच एक यूथ आमचो विधानसभेन ना. एक्चुअली आमचें पॉप्युलेशन म्हणटाच की 30 मोर देन 50% यूथ आसा लेस देन 35%. पूण आमचो एक सुद्दां रिप्रेझेंटेटीव विधानसभेन ना जो आमचे प्रॅक्टिकल डिफिकल्टीज सॉल्व करपाक शकता. अशें म्हणून हांव सोंपयता म्हजें.
These two gentlemen have had very specific points, very valid points on unemployment and education, extremely valid, like I said. But I think I'm going to talk to you on a slightly different tangent, which is more of a general speaking when it comes to youth. Our main topic is youth and Mirage in Goa. And personally, based on my experiences and what I've seen and the way things are going, unfortunately, definitely, yes, it will be a mirage if we continue to proceed down the same road that we're going at the minute. I'm a bit frustrated being a Goan and living in Goa, facing the similar difficulties as we're all faced with. And what we'd love, I'm sure what all of us would love, is a bit of change. The questions I think that need to be asked, I'm not going to address the same points as my two colleagues here. On unemployment and education, which are extremely valid. I'd like to stress on that. But we currently have a lot of leaders. Now, I don't want to go down the political road, but when I say leaders, say for example, I've got a perfect example sitting right in front of me, which is Armand, who's put this lovely event together for all of us. So the first questions we should be asking is who is going to take over from Armand at a certain point, or liaise with him. In my opinion, we don't need one Armand, we need 10. Or 20 or 30, and that's how we're actually going to get things done in Goa from every perspective. Hopefully these two gentlemen will pick up one of the points that they've brought up themselves, unemployment and education, and go from there. Another culture that I've seemed to have come across in Goa/India to a certain extent is a no and a negative culture, which is an instant turn off. So I don't think anybody wants anything negative or anything. We don't hear no's, we want to hear yeses. When it comes to anything you want to talk about, when it comes to nightlife, education, the choice of food I'd like to eat, who I'd like to vote for, whatever it may be. So we do want to hear yeses. I'm happy for there to be conditions. I'm not saying we should just have like an open policy where, you know what, today I am saying, hi, my name's John and I want to start X, and you can just go ahead and do that. Within certain norms and certain reforms, possibilities are endless. Goa still has, according to me, that little magic shine in India. That's why we're so popular. That's why we're so successful as a state. We're the most successful state going. That's probably why the rest of the country flocks down to our shows, whether we like it or not. That's how it is. So in many aspects, we're the front runner. Goa's on the front foot. So in other words, we are leading. So we should be leading as an example. And I think the best way to start would be with our youth. I've faced a lot of challenges growing up, as I'm sure everybody has. Goa has a lot of temptations. So, especially doing what I do for a living, which is I work in the nightlife industry, for those that don't know, I'm exposed to all sorts of temptations. And I'm quite proud to say I'm a teetotaler, which I get mocked off most of the time. I recently played an event, a music festival in Kandali, where my drink of the day was chai, which I was most happy that the caterers decided to have chai for us. So that'll give you an example into my little world and my insight. So for all those people who have this negative tag when it comes to Goa and Goans and our youth being, out on the beach too long or partying too much and not taking their education seriously, that's a personal choice to everyone. I think we have a lot of successful Goans. One thing I do love about people that I come across is people are very driven.
I feel I've been very lucky to find the right person to work with, that's Salmando and Salvis. And I think the youth today do not get the right opportunities to work, towards what they want to do. So I think if we have opportunities, we can grab them. Like I've got the opportunity of working towards saving the environment or creating an awareness about the environment. So I think youth today, I don't know why they run after government jobs when they can actually do something on their own, So depending on the government is not the solution, basically. That's what I feel. And youth should actually come forward and, do things voluntarily instead of expecting something out of, getting something in return, which I don't really see in most of the youth that I work with. Like I've worked on various projects with students of various colleges, but there's always this doubt in them, I'm doing it because I'm getting something in return. But no one wants to do it selflessly. So I think that's one problem in our youth, that they keep whining about things. They don't believe that they could themselves be leaders and do something on their own, lead the way and be an example to others. So that's what I feel. I think opportunities created for youth and the youth taking the opportunity and grabbing it and making the most out of it, I think that should be the way.
Great. So, perfect. So what happened to me was when I was about 16 or 17, and I was driven to do something I didn't know what to go with, and my parents kind of wanted me to get into software and study through that whole process. So considering all that, I did get into it. I did study software, I got through that part. But somewhere towards my second year of doing my bachelor's in software, I realized that by the end of it, I didn't know what I was going to do. And to a certain extent, being the only kid, I wanted to be around my parents and kind of take care of them eventually. So I didn't want to leave Goa for that, move out of Goa. So what I did was I wanted to do a startup. So I started something and I started picking up sunglasses from Colver Beach and selling them on eBay. So there's always some way that a person can start up a company. It's just that I would like to talk to the youth directly, and mine would be a little different compared to the real world issues that were addressed. And I totally respect every issue, and it's great that unemployment and education was brought up. But mine is a slightly different perspective, because I feel that the youth today, rather than jumping to something that gives you quick money and something that will maybe take you, that you'll earn money for 15 years and then you'll be sent back to your country, you might as well be a king where you are, because when you're in Goa or when you're in your homeland, you are a king where you are, and nobody can tell you to get out of their country at the end. So pretty much standing for what you are and what you've been and for what you pretty much have inherited, the Goan culture, the Goan food. I love the concept of the Padikar online thing, which is brilliant. The first time I saw the flyer in my newspaper, I was like, this is the kind of people we need in Goa. We need Goans who will start up, take coconuts online, take your tender coconuts online. We have tender coconuts. People go and, I've seen Goans going and buying tender coconuts in a can, made in Malaysia. Why not take the tender coconuts from our own trees and drink it? It is brilliant. We've got so much in Goa. Goa is rich. Goa is rich with coconut oil. We are rich with coconut oil. We are rich with so much that Goa has to offer. We have the tourism sector, which is booming more than almost anybody else on the western coast of India. And I think that addressing issues like tourism, addressing coconuts, addressing cashew nuts, addressing small little things, it doesn't have to be big. We can pick up sunglasses and sell it on eBay. That's how I started off my company, and I funded Studio 7 initially. There were things that were not available in Mumbai that we used to pick up. I used to live on a very basic pocket money that my parents used to give me. So with that, I used to kind of work with lifts going to college so that I could save on that bus money and fund something so that I could put it online and sell it and then fund my own business eventually. So that's pretty much how I started my company at 16, 17, sold my company at 18. But I think that there are opportunities for our youth in Goa, and nobody's going to tell you tomorrow, you're not from here, get out of my country, because ultimately you are at home. And no matter what, if somebody's treating you badly, bad people from other states are coming and telling you to get out of their way, they cannot tell you because ultimately you're at home and they are not. So I would honestly love to talk to the youth to start something small. It doesn't have to be big. You can sell bananas and be a king, but as long as you're doing something and making a profit on whatever you do, as long as you're doing something, eventually it'll grow. So I would honestly love to tell the youth to stop complaining that Goa has a bad income and you're going to get a bad pay scale, or stop complaining about our youth leaders and our politicians who have failed the country. You might as well take that stand and stand for the village panchayat and stand for something. You do that small thing and you take your stand, because I will say that my father's generation has failed the whole scenario. But me saying something like that does not mean that that is how it has to be. I might as well say that I will stand for the village panchayat, or I will stand to be among the Panch members, so that I can do something and change the way that it is, so that my children will not say their father's generation has failed us. So that's pretty much what I want to say. Let's do a startup, let's get into politics, let's get into taking leadership roles, get into NGOs. Shine is pretty much about the same age as most of us on the panel here, and she's heading the entire Kampal Creek project. And there should be people among this age group in your late teens, early 20s, late 20s. Do something for Goa. Stop complaining. There's always something to find. And that's pretty much what I want to say. Thank you.
You can be either a job seeker or a job creator. So I think in those categories, if you all can suggest something, if somebody is a job seeker, or rather, what sort of job seekers should Goa create? What sort of industry should the government think about bringing in that gives jobs to Goans, as well as that are sustainable, and as well they make Goa kind of a hub for something positive. So I think that's important. Right now we seem to be a hub for casinos and gambling and those sort of things. So and if you're a job creator, then what would you like the government to enable, for you to, I think like somebody touched upon Startup India and all that, but right now those are all things you see on TV. So in reality, what would it be that you would like to see to be a job creator?
पयली म्हळ्यार म्हाका बरें दिसलें आयकून निशान आपलो बिझनस स्टार्ट केला. सो आनी वायटूय दिसलें की भगतान सांगलें की गोंयकार सुशेगाद म्हणून. आमचे गोंयकार सुशेगाद ना, अशें सीन क्रिएट केल्लो आसा की गोंयकार सुशेगाद आसा म्हणून. हांव स्वता म्हाजें MBA करतना, फार्मसी करतना सांजो 4 ते 12 पर्यंत जॉब करतालो आनी सकाळीं फुडें उठून एग्जामी वतालो. आमचे गोंयकार सुशेगाद न्हू. म्हाका अशें हांव ताका राग अशें धरिना, पण एक म्हटल्यार आमच्या होम स्वीट होपान म्हणिल्लें आतां खरें आसा, एक सुशेगाद गोंयकार उठ्ठा तेन्ना कितें जाता तें सगळें खबर आसा. बट दॅट डजंट मीन सगळे सुशेगाद गोंयकार उठ्ठले आनी आपलो बिझनस स्टार्ट करतले. अशें आसा की प्रत्येक मनीस आपलो बिझनस स्टार्ट करपाक शकना. कळ्ळें न्हू? प्रत्येक मनशाक एक बूस्ट दिवचो पडटा कितें करतलो जाल्यार. तूं जॉब करतलो जाल्यार बूस्ट दिवचो पडटा. सो म्हाजें म्हणणें अशें आसा की सगळे एवरीथींग शूड गो इन हँड. आमच्या गोंयांत ज्यो सद्या कॉलेजीस आसा त्यो चडश्यो कॉलेजीस म्हटल्यार BSc, BCom, इंजिनियरींग आतां हांव एक्सपेक्ट करतालो की ह्या गव्हर्मेंटान IT रिलेटेड कंपनीज हाडटले आशिल्ले म्हणून, पण अजून पर्यंत तरी तांच्यांनी कांय करूंक ना. सो एक हो व्हडलो प्रश्न आसा. फार्मास्युटिकल कंपनीज आसा ज्यो BSc भुरग्यांक बी काम दिवंक शकता. इवन BCom भुरग्यांक थंय फायनान्स डिपार्टमेंटान MBA करून सुद्दां काम मेळपाक शकता. पण फार्मास्युटिकल कंपनीन कितले गोंयकारांक जॉब मेळटा हें कोणी पळोवंक ना. गोंयांत 2च फार्मसी कॉलेज आसा, एक पणजे आसा आनी PES कॉलेज. सो फाटल्या खेप जेन्ना 70 भुरगे पास जाले भितरले 15 भुरगे M.Pharm करपाक गेले. बाकीच्या भुरग्यांतले फक्त 2च भुरग्यांक कन्फर्म ट्रेनी म्हणून घेतले, बाकीच्या सगळ्यांक कॉन्ट्रेक्टार म्हणून घेतिल्ले आसा. आनी ते ट्रेनी म्हणून घेतिल्ले ते इन्फ्लुयन्स लावन घेतिल्ले आसा, म्हाका सारकें खबर आसा. सो गोंयांत आतां इतल्यो फार्मास्युटिकल कंपनी आसा आनी आमचे B.Pharm कॉलेज, फार्मसी कॉलेजींतल्या भुरग्यांक कॉन्ट्रेक्टाचेर घेता. इतले वेकन्सीज आसा. सो हो व्हडलो प्रश्न आसा. ताका लागून हांव म्हणटा की पॉलिसी आसपाक जाय गव्हर्मेंटाच्यो रिजर्वेशन फॉर गोवन्स. म्हणजे हांव म्हणटा गोवन्स म्हणजे जे गोंयचे लोकल अशें म्हणिना, जे कॉलेजींतल्यान पास आवट जाता तांकां कितें तरी प्रेफरन्स आसपाक जाय. एटलिस्ट आतां ते सुप्रिजिताचें हांवें सांगिल्लें पाडेकर ऑनलायन, ताजो असलो भुरगो सपोज बिझनस स्टार्ट करपाक शकता, ताका कितें तरी बूस्ट मेळपाचो हक्क आसा न्हू गव्हर्मेंटा कडल्यान. ताका तुमी पयशे मागता प्लॉट घेवपाक लागून ही सगळ्यांत वायट परिस्थिती आसा. मागीर आमचे इलेक्ट्रॉनीक सिटी म्हणटा, इलेक्ट्रॉनीक सिटी सांगिल्ल्या प्रमाणे कॉलेजीस ना. ते म्हणजे जे कंपनी येवपाचे तसली कॉलेजीस ना. इलेक्ट्रॉनीक इंजिनियरींग आसा, पूण ते शिकयता ते कोर्स आनी जे कंपनी येवपाचे ते कितें तरी मॅच जावपाक जाय. आतां ट्युरिजमान पयलीं मायनिंगान लोक धांवताले. मायनींग एकाचे 25 ट्रक केले मायनींग करया. मागीर तांच्यांनी GECन इंजिनियरींग स्टार्ट, मायनींग इंजिनियरींग कितें तरी कोर्स स्टार्ट केलो. सगळे थंय धांवपाक लागले. आतां सगळे म्हणटा ट्युरिजमान आमी करया म्हणटा, आमी आपले ओन ऑनलायन कितें बिझनस स्टार्ट करया, वॉट एवर. ट्युरिजम सगळे आतां ट्युरिजमा फाटल्यान धांवला. पूण आमच्या गोंयाची कॅपेसिटी कितली आहा ट्युरिजम रिलेटेड जॉब्स हँडल करपाची, ते कोणी चिंतला? फाल्यां मायनिंगाची जी हालत जाला तीच ट्युरिजमाची जातली. कित्याक ते तुमकां सांगता, पयलीं जे गोंयांत जे ट्युरिस्ट येताले, बरे ट्युरिस्ट येताले पळय, ते आतां गोंयांत येवपाचें बंद जाला. लोकल ट्युरिस्ट येतात ते सगळे बिस्किटीच्या पोतान, दुदाच्या पोतान सगळे घेवन येता आनी परत वता. तांचो कांय फायदो जायना. आनी अशी एक दीस परिस्थिती येतली. आमी एक स्पेशल स्टेटसाक लागून एक इंटरव्यू घेताले एकले हेजो. तो 30 वर्सां जाले येता. तो म्हणटा आतां आपूण येवपाचें कमी करतलो गोंयांत. येवपाचें ना आपणाक दिसता म्हणटा. पयलींच्या भशेन गोंयकारपण कांय उरूंक ना म्हणटा गोंयांत. आमच्यो ज्यो आदली घरां आशिल्लीं ताच्या जाग्यार व्हडल्यो व्हडल्यो बिल्डिंगो आयल्या म्हणटा. असले ट्युरिजमाक आमकां इंट्रस्ट ना. असले ट्युरिजम आमकां आमच्या थंय मेळटा म्हणटा. सो सगळेच जाण जर ट्युरिजमाक धांवपाक लागले जाल्यार सारकें ना. ट्युरिजमाक म्हाजो फ्रेंड आसा पंकज हांगा बसला आनी प्रशांत. थंय कितें गोंयकारांक जॉब मेळटा, ते 12 वरां 14 वरां काम करतात. नायट शिफ्ट करून आयला ते. हांकां आनी ते वयल्यान तांकां हाय लेवलाचेर तांकां ना. 3rd लेवलाचेर ते जॉब करना. 3rd लेवलार डायरेक्ट तुमी नोकरी.com कडल्यान हाडटाच. सो हे जे प्रॅक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम्स आसा की आमी सगळे हांव म्हणटा न्हू की सगळे हँड इन हँड आमच्या गोंयांत ज्यो सद्या कॉलेजीस आसा त्या प्रमाणे इंडस्ट्रीज आसपाक जाय. आनी इंडस्ट्रीन सुद्दां कितें तरी गोंयकारांक फर्स्ट प्रेफरन्स मेळपाक जाय. नाजाल्यार भुरगे अशेंच तळमळटले आनी मागीर तांकां पोर्तुगल वयचेच पडटले. सो हेच तुमकां सांगपाक सोदतालो.
Again, Siddhesh and Kapil have made some really good points. I find them a bit subjective about things that need to change in the future. So say for example, Goans should get first preference when they graduate from college or so on and so forth. But in order for that to happen, things need to change. I'd like to talk to you about here and now. I think a fantastic example is Antonio, sitting to my left, with what he's done with his vision. The actual company he set up, I think, is irrelevant, for the fact that he had an idea to set up something and went and achieved that is commendable, especially at his age. And I think that's a great platform for our kids to follow. There's been a lot of negativity, so I'd like to talk to you maybe on the positive aspect. I've lived in the UK for the last 6 years, 5 to 6 years, and I know we have unemployment as an issue in Goa and in India. But when you have that perception of, say, a country like England or the UK, and we have a lot of Goans flocking over to the UK, take it from someone who's lived there for 5.5 years, the unemployment in the UK is at an unprecedented scale. It's huge. You don't even understand how bad it is. Professionals who are 10 times more qualified than you, me, and everybody else put together are not able to get jobs in McDonald's making French fries. And these guys are, you know, professionals and MBA holders and so on and so forth. So again, to go back to one of the points I think that Valmiki had made and Antonio, which is we should stay at home, which is a good thing to do. I've decided to move back home as well. The opportunities are here. So if we can't have an opportunity right now, create one for yourself. See a gap in the market. You don't have to be a fantastic businessman. Find a really simple, good product or a good working formula and stick to it. There are so many vacancies in Goa and so many things that need to be done. But it's very easy to sit at home and say, oh, you know what, somebody should start this and somebody should do that. You should be that somebody. So a couple of things that I've noticed that are missing in Goa, which is like what Valmiki has done as well, is we've lived abroad and we've picked up a few points and brought them back home. So say for example now, if there's an emergency in this very room and someone has a medical emergency, what do you do? Anybody, question, what do you do? Someone's had a heart attack, anyone can give me an answer, what do you do? But there isn't a single phone number we can call. There is a 108, which I believe have 8 ambulances if I'm not mistaken. But Goa doesn't have a dedicated emergency line. There is no 999, there is no 911. There's a gap in the market. All you need is a call center. It's just a little network. I'm not telling you to do the emergency job. I'm just saying have a call center where you can call with someone on the phone, an educated person who will connect you to the police, connect you with the nearest ambulance, connect you with the fire brigade, or wake up somebody, whatever needs to be done in Goa. But have a simple formula. And there's no reason why someone can't start this themselves. I don't think I have the aptitude to do it, so hopefully one of our kids could do something similar. Another thing that's been taking Goa quite by storm on a business perspective is something called the BNI network. I'm not sure if anybody's aware of this. Are a few of us aware of BNI? It's an American-based network. It's very popular in Goa. It's a business network, basically. So I'll quickly run through how it works. I make tiles, you build houses, so somebody connects me to you because you need my product and I need you. And they vouch for one another. That's basically what it is. There's nobody in Goa who's thought about doing this for youth. In other words, there are kids who are talented in non-specific roles. Say for example, my colleagues have spoken a lot about BCom education and science and so on and so forth, which is your norm. But what about kids like these two gentlemen here, the photographers, or the cameramen here, or people in a creative field, or you see someone who's a great sportsman that you mentioned. And you can have a network among these people to say, oh, you know what, I know a kid who would be really good for your requirement, or I know someone who could be fantastic to fit this role, and so on and so forth. So the models are there. All you need to do is just take them up and adopt them and try and implement them. So my point would be, if you can't fit the norm, make it yourself. Do something yourself. Take a loan. I believe EDC are handing out really good loans. If not, I listened to somebody else in the other seminar who said that I believe Bajaj Alliance are handing out really good loans. You pay a couple of % more, but the repayment schemes are very good. So research into it. See how you can generate some funds. I'm sure Anthony would be more clued up on this than I would. But start something by yourself. Get an idea and just go and run with it.
Yeah, so my point would be, if you don't have the resources, I mean, you need to collect money as Antonio did. I mean, sell your sunglasses on eBay. I mean, that's what you could do. I mean, collect money from your own resources and
हांव ते पॉइंटाक तुका एक मातसो मानता, पूण सांगपाक सोदता ते प्रमाणे समज आतां तूं एकट्याचे बद्दल चिंत्ता. आतां समज एग्जांपल घे, आमी आतां 5 जण कंपनी चालू करपाक सोदता. आमी 5 जण कितें सनग्लासेस घेवन बिचीर विकपाक शकपा न्हू. खंय तरी आमकां बिझनस घालपाक एक EDC कडल्यान लँड घेवं या खंयची तरी बारीक स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री चालू करता, जाल्यार फंडाची गरज आसता आनी समज आमी ती बँकेंतल्यान घेता जाल्यार इंट्रस्टानूच आमी काबार जातले. दुसरी गजाल म्हणटा ती आमी जेन्ना गव्हर्मेंटा कडल्यान मागणी करून घेता तेन्ना इंट्रस्ट लेवल कमी आसता. तेन्ना खंय इम्पॉर्टंट रोल प्ले जाता. हाव यू आर इन गूड टर्म्स विथ द गव्हर्मेंट ऑफिशल्स. समज गव्हर्मेंट ऑफिशल्स तुजे वांगडा बरे ना जाल्यार तुजो लोन पास जावपाक ना. थंय जाल्यार राजकारण चालू. म्हणून हांवें कितें म्हणलें, गव्हर्मेंट प्लेज अ इम्पॉर्टंट रोल इन एम्प्लॉयमेंट. This was the point.
So basically, I feel that youth need to have a vision of their own and work towards, achieving that vision. So basically, I would stick to my point and say that work for yourself. I mean, create job opportunities for yourself. So that's the point I would like to make.
And one more point I want to add. बिजनेस स्टार्ट करपाक हांवें स्वता बिजनेस केल्लो आसा. सो बिजनेस स्टार्ट करप इट इज नॉट अ जोक. थावजंड्सांतले एकूच बिजनेसमॅन सक्सेस. ऑलरेडी 999 बिजनेसमॅन सक्सेसफूल जातले अशें ना. आनी प्रत्येक युथाच्या फाटल्यान ताची फॅमिली आसता. तो लोन काडपाक शकना. लोन काडपाक तुका एसेट आसपाक जाय. सगळ्यांच कडेन एसेट आसता अशें ना. सो हांव म्हणिना की हांव एक्चुली हांव MBA स्टुडंट. सो म्हाका खबर आसा की बिजनेस कसो चलता आनी बिजनेस म्हणजे बिजनेस व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. आपल्या पांयार उबें रावंक जाय पूण रायट डायरेक्शनान वचपाक जाय. सांगपाचें अशें आशिल्लें की सगळे जाणां ट्युरिजमान धांवनाका. कित्याक फाल्यां ट्युरिजम एक गोंयांत इतले लोक जाला पळय ट्युरिजम क्रॅश जावपाचो आसा. हांव सांगता तुमकां आमची गोंयची इकॉनॉमी क्रॅश जावपाची आसा. सगळे मायनिंगान धांवताले बिजनेस स्टार्ट करपाक. दॅट वॉज अ बिजनेस. कितें जालें? क्रॅश जालें सगळें. लोकांची लोनां आसा. आतां भुरग्यांक एड्युकेशन दिवपाक पयशे ना लोकां कडेन. सो आय एम नॉट सेयींग दॅट आमी बिजनेसाचेर फोकस करपाक ना. फावना सगळे सायड बाय सायड वचपाक जाय. एड्युकेशन सुद्दां भुरग्यांचें सारकें जावपाक जाय. आनी जे जॉब सुद्दां करता ते सुद्दां एड्युकेशन अशें जावपाक जाय जे गोंयांत जॉब्स अवेलेबल आसा त्या प्रमाणे एड्युकेशन जावपाक. दॅट वॉज माय पॉयंट.
Just to counter a couple of points, a fantastic point he raises where you will need collateral to take a loan, and it is a lot of stress. People might have families. If you're talking about setting up something of your own, it's not easy to start. It's not easy to start a business. So it is very stressful. There is, however, another alternative that you could look at. If you have a viable business plan, which you know is going to make money and you need capital, and for whatever reason, like Sudesh mentioned, you don't get on with the government official, they're refusing to give you the loan, you find that the interest rates are too high from a bank, find a partner. Find someone to invest into your business. You will give away a share of your business naturally, but that's a decision you can make, but it's a very viable option. You'd rather have 50% or 20% of a lot of money than zero of nothing. So that's another option you could explore.
Yeah, so I like the thing is, what we were talking about is not sticking only to tourism. And I totally agree with that, because ultimately if we have every student passing out jumping into tourism will fail. Fair enough. Same way, if I tell everybody to start a business, 20 people over here to start 20 businesses, who's going to work for that business? Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is Goa has a very diversified state. I mean, we are a very small state, but we are very diversified. We are great with cashew nuts, we are great with coconuts, we are great with tourism, we are great with talent, we are great with a lot of things in Goa. So what I'm trying to encourage the youth today is I'm trying to tell them, in whatever way you're good at, kind of grow on that. Okay? I know a lot, the Susegad topic came up, and we honestly need to break the stigma that Goans are Susegad and take Susegad negatively. What I think is we have grown up with that, people telling us, y'all are Susegad, y'all are Susegad. If I'm telling a baby today, from the time he's born till the time he's 20 years old, that he's Susegad and he's not going to do anything in life, that is what he's going to grow up to be. Let's tell the future generations that y'all are the hope of Goa. Y'all are the hope of Goa starting up new. You're not the Susegad people who are going to go home and sleep, and a person from out of Goa is going to come and you're going to work as a slave in their kitchen. I want you to be the person who's going to employ that person from Delhi to come here and work for you in your kitchen. Because this is your state, this is where you are. Another thing that Anish said is jobs in England. I've seen the same thing in a lot of other places that I've traveled, and people are working in menial jobs, making sandwiches, making things and they are earning nothing. They are working from end to end and they have nothing to send home at the end of the day because rents are so high, travel is so high. The cost of living is not as easy as it is. When you look at it, yes, it is a cleaner place, but it doesn't mean it is a job that you will be happy with at the end of 3 years. So what you can do is, if you can make that same sandwich in Goa, or you can do something small in your own little way, contribute to a growing economy that we are. And I would emphasize on the word growing because there is potential to do something over here. It doesn't have to be something huge. You don't have to start up the biggest company there is, but you can start up something that will take care of your bread and butter every morning. Yeah. So if you can make that sandwich somewhere else, feel proud that you're a Goan and make the sandwich back at home. Because there is potential in the growing economy that we are in Goa to do something for our state. And that is something that I would like to emphasize to our youth. Another small thing that I would like to say is, I wasn't aware that you were going to talk about BNI. And BNI is great. So what I thought about is, how about we have something like, if you were aware, we used to have something called Think Fest in Goa. And something like Goa Fest, and these idea-giving seminars. Invite college students, let's have another seminar, let's have another great idea seminar, where we get students who want to do something, get few investors. All of us have contacts with people who want to invest in new companies, want to invest in young minds, want to invest in the next big thing. And if we can get students who want to start something up, and we get investors who want to invest in that business, our youth of today will be able to start up a company and employ other youth around them. So not everybody is starting up a business, but people are starting up a business and creating jobs around them. So we are not dependent on people and existing jobs, but we are dependent on ourselves and our peers who have that great business idea, who can work as partners, who can work together, who can work in a media firm, who can work in something to grow our economy together. Not work everybody start up a business, but everybody grow together, work for each other, and kind of start up new ideas. So I think something like a Think Fest for Goa would be a great thing that we could probably pitch in at some point. So that's something I would like to say. And thank you.
So my question is, I was actually thinking of asking the government to change the purpose of the Investment Promotion Board to helping Goan start up small businesses, like the photography businesses or anything else you all might come up with, instead of making its focus getting these big things from outside.
We are demanding the scrapping of Investment Promotional Board, in fact, because as you said, it's mostly influenced by builder lobby. खुबशे गव्हर्मेंटाचे डिपार्टमेंट्स आसा इन्व्हेस्टमेंट प्रमोशनल बोर्डाची गरजूच ना. GIDC आसा, तांच्यांनी प्रेफरन्स दिवंक जाय बऱ्यो इंडस्ट्री हाडपाक. हांवें सांगिल्लें तशें इंडस्ट्रीक रेंटाक दिता 100 years, आनी आफ्टर 25 years or आय थिंक 15 years ते वचून चॅक करता कितें इंडस्ट्री चलता की ना. तो पर्यंत हे सबसिडी घेता, वॉट एवर कितें लोन घेता, आनी कंपनीज नाच जाता. खंय वचात, बेळणा इंडस्ट्री वचात, कुंडे वचात, आनी खंय वचात. सो पॉलिसीज अशें आसपाक जाय ज्यो एक वर्सान चॅक करपाक जाय की बाबा ती इंडस्ट्री थंय आसा की ना ती.
Yeah, my question is, the whole topic discussion that you all had was basically on how youth is basically, is supposed to be doing well here in Goa if they wanted to, but they're not.
म्हाका तुजें समजलें तुमी सांगपाक सोदता तो गव्हर्मेंटा कडल्यान कितें फंड्स या तुजे दुसरे.
So in my terms is how do you simplify this for government?
आतां तुका सांगपाचें म्हणल्यार तूं जशें म्हणटा पळय फायनान्सराक धरपाचें. फायनान्सर गोंयांत म्हणटा ते हाय फायनान्सर म्हणटा ते दोग जाण आसा. एक म्हणटा ते बिल्डर आनी दुसरे म्हणटा ते पॉलिटिशियन. तूं समज पॉलिटिशियना कडेन वचून फायनान्स घेतलें, तुका फाल्यां तेंचे फाटल्यान शेपडी जावन कॅम्पेनींग करपा पडटलें. आनी दुसरी गजाल म्हणल्यार समज तूं बिल्डरा फाटल्यान भोंवलो, प्लेन जागो आसल्यार थंय तुका बिल्डिंगी बांदपाक तुजे खातीर ताका सपोर्ट करपाक बाउन्सरींग काम करपाक पडटलें. सो ही गोश्ट घडली म्हणून हांवें एक स्टेप घेतिल्लो. हांव अजून नंबर आवट करुना, पूण म्हाजो प्लॅन चालू आसा. हांवें गरीब घराण्यांतले जे डिप्लोमा करून प्लंबींग, इलेक्ट्रिशियन, कंप्युटर रिपेरींग आनी थोड्यांची गोश्टी आसात, थंयचे भुरगे थोडे एकठांय करून एक नंबर काडटलो. त्या नंबर हेल्पलायन समज हावज होल्डाचे कितेंय प्रॉब्लेम आसा त्या नंबरा वयल्यान वी कॅन गिव एम्प्लॉयमेंट टू द यूथ. जशें तो म्हणटा पळय एमर्जन्सी तशें एम्प्लॉयमेंट थंय क्रिएट जातलें. हें रागान केल्लें आसा, कित्याक एक खंयच्या तरी पॉलिटिशनान म्हाका म्हणलें आपूण तुका सपोर्ट करता, इन रिटर्न तूं आपल्याक कितें दितलो. तें नाका भाव, तुजेंय नाका आनी म्हाजेंय व्हरनाका तूं, कांयच नाका. म्हणून दिस इज
the things which we are discussing now, just to add some positive stories. I was in Mapsa lately, and one of the most inspiring thing what I noticed was when we go to the chaat shops, you know, mostly are from North Indians, but one of the most welcome change in Mapsa, I found a Goan youth. He goes to Juhu, hires a guy, comes back here, learn from him the stuff, and he is now, you know, from Kanka, you know, doing a successful business near Axis and Mapsa. So, you know, there are, you know, many positive stories. I mean, this gentleman shared his Kapil doing a good job, Valmiki being back. I am the only person from my class. I've been a decade working in tourism industry in hotels, North Goa, South Goa. Been surviving, not been that good as my classmates. There are opportunities here, and I'm quite a bit of happy being in Goa, doing my bit. Thanks.
परत हेच प्रश्न हांवें थंय घातिल्ले. हे प्रश्न तुमी सामके तरणाटे म्हणून तुमकां कितें दिसता की गोंयांत उदक, एम्प्लॉयमेंट, आमचें वातावरण सारकें साफ आसपा जाय आनी मागीर सर्विसीस सारके आसपा जाय, तें सारकें गरजेचें हें की मराठी शिकपाची, कोंकणी शिकपाची, खंयचे भाशेन शिकपाची, असले स्क्रिप्टान बरोवपाचें तर तुमी खंय म्हणून वेटेज दिता तरणाट.
सगळ्यांकी इम्पॉर्टंट डॉक्टर सर, हांव तुका सांगपाक सोदता म्हणल्यार म्हाका जाल्यार दिसता मेन, तुमी राजकारणान आसा, चडशे लोक आसा, म्हाका जाल्यार दिसता गोंयांत पॉलिटिकल इन्स्टिट्यूशन इम्पॉर्टंट. जेन्ना एक पॉलिटिशन जावपाक वता तेका पयलीं करपाची गरज आसा. एज्युकेशन इम्पॉर्टंट, तें इम्पॉर्टंट, तुमी म्हणल्यार लँग्वेज इम्पॉर्टंट काय पर्यावरण, पब्लीक लायफ हें इम्पॉर्टंट, हें थंय कोणाक येवपाचें आसा. म्हाका एक सांग, सीर सलामत तो पगडी हजार, तकली समज सारकी ना, समज पर्यावरण सारकें ना, हेल्थ सारकें ना, शिकून बिकून खंय फायदो. सो म्हाजे प्रमाणान तांकां चड वेटेज आसतलोच, आनी तें सरकारान आनी पॉलिटिशियन जशे तुमी आसा, तुमी इनिशिएटीव घेवन मुखार सरपा जाय.
म्हाका अशें सांगपाचें आशिल्लें की 2 क्वेश्चन विचारिल्ले की तुमकां खंयचें इम्पॉर्टंट तें. पयली अशी गोश्ट आसा की हांव एक्टिविस्ट, सो म्हाका एनवायरमेंटूय इम्पॉर्टंट. हे मराठी हे बीन आसा ते पॉलिटिक्सा खातीर लोक फुडें सरपाक यूज करतात, ताचे बद्दल कांयच प्रश्न ना, हें प्रत्येक गोंयकाराक खबर आसा. पूण पॉलिटिशनान आतां म्हटलें की आमी पॉलिटिक्सान वचपाक जाय की ना तें. सो पॉलिटिक्सान अशे लोक वचपाक जाय जेंच्यांनी, हांव वयचो ना पूण कळ्ळें न्हू, अशें वचपाक जाय जेंच्यांनी फिल्ड वर्क केल्लें आसा, एनवायरमेंट रिलेटेड कितें तरी काम केल्लें आसा, गोंयाक वाचोवपाक, गोंयाक हे आतां बिल्डर लोक सोंपयता पळय ते वाचोवपाक लागून काम केल्लें आसा. ते लोक जेन्ना पॉलिटिशियन जातले तेन्नाच गोंय कितें तरी आमचें राखतलें अशें म्हाका दिसता.
बरें, हांव कितें म्हणपाक सोदतां की असले लोक जसले तूं म्हणटा पळय तसले पॉलिटिशियन्स वाल्मिकीचे भशेन ह्या विशयाचेर उलयता पळय तेन्ना तरणाटे तांकां सपोर्ट दितले की तुमकां दिसता की ते इमोटीव इश्यूज मराठीचे, कोंकणीचे किंवा धर्माचे किंवा जातीचे ते इश्यूज इम्पॉर्टंट तुमकां की वाल्मिकीचे इम्पॉर्टंट इश्यूज? तरणाट्यांक कितें
पळय, तरणाटे आसा न्हू तांकां
बाय एंड लार्ज, हय, फक्त तूं न्ही,
हय, तरणाटे आसा पळय, आतां तरणाट्यांक सद्या FC गोवा लागला. FC गोवा म्हटल्यार फोर्सा गोवा म्हटल्यार धांवतले ते, तांकां आमी गायड करपाक, हांव तरणाटो, सो तांकां आमी मातशें तरी कितें तरी गायडन्स दिवंक जाय. सो म्हाजे पेरंट म्हाका सांगता, पूण फायनली म्हाज्या मनान कितें आहा तें हांव करतलो. सो मनान कितें आहा तें करतलो, पूण मनान कोणी तरी हाडपाक जाय. सो हें हाडपाचें काम आपले आपूण येवचें ना, तांचे टिचर्स, मागीर आपले पेरंट्स आनी सगळे रिलेटेड आसता. सपोज हांव तर हांव कितें करता, म्हाज्या बरोबर हांव केन्ना वता तेन्ना 2-3 जाणां युथाक घेवन वता. अशें जेन्ना पयलीं ते यूथ आसता ते दिसभर डिस्कोन वताले आनी खंय वताले, पूण म्हाज्या बरोबर प्रज्वल सरा बरोबर काम करून ते गोंया खातीर आतां काम करपाक लागले. कित्याक करपाक लागले की तांकां दिसलें की वॉट इज इम्पॉर्टंट फॉर देम नाव. सो ज्या युथाक आतांचें खरें म्हटल्यार गोंयच्या युथांक तरी सनबर्न, FC गोवा हेच नाद लागिल्लो आसा. पूण आमी तांकां गायड करपाक जाय. हांव जाणा की सगळ्यांक आमी गायड कशें करतले, पूण आमी 2 जाणांक तरी गायड करतले, 2 जाणां 4 जाणांक गायड करपाक शकता. सो हांकां आमी आमच्या बरोबर व्हरपाक शकता. सो जितलें जाता तितलें आमी गायड करपाचें, हें हांव म्हणटा.
डॉक्टर बाब, तुका एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन हांव करता. तुमी आतां तो क्वेश्चन विचारलो तो खंयच्या नदरेन विचारलो?
तरणाट्याच्या नदरेन कित्याक हांव तरणाटो.
तरणाट्याच्या नदरेन विचारलें जाल्यार तुका एक सांगता दोन भशेन घेवपा जाता. समज तुका पॉलिटिशियन जावपाक जाय जाल्यार तूं कोंकणी मराठी इंग्लीश थंय रावतलो आनी समज तूं एक्टिविस्ट जावपाक जाय जाल्यार तूं एनवायरमेंटा फाटल्यान रावतलो. मायलेज जाय तेतून रावप आनी कितें बरें करपाक गोंयकाराक जाय जाल्यार हांगा जावप
ना. पूण तोच म्हाजो प्रश्न कित्याक आतां इतलीं वर्सां जालीं आमी पळयता की एक्टिविस्ट करून आनी खरें सामकें मनांतल्यान करून काळजांतल्यान सामकें करून तें सक्सेसफूल जायना. दुसरें म्हणल्यार एक फादर बिस्मार्काक भशेन जाता तें. सो द पॉयंट इज हाऊ डज एन एक्टिविस्ट convert himself to a politician to affect change and must actually convert themselves into politicians to affect change or just continue to remain activists.
तुमचे सारख्या मनशांनी मुखार सरपाक जाय ना. पळय तुमी एक्टिविस्ट म्हणून रावले जाल्यार राजकारण कशें चेंज जातलें. जशें की तुमी प्रजल सकळदांडे तेमी मुखार सरपाय न्ही राजकारण चेंज करपाक. तुमी समज एक्टिविजम करून रावल्यार राजकारण कोण चेंज करतले.
I think it was the best session of today's seminar. I want to thank all the participants, definitely thank all the audience, and most importantly thank Armand for organizing this.
That's correct, Valmiki. It is not Armand Gonzalez, it's a big team.